Yeah, hi, good afternoon, guys. Wednesday afternoon, and I just thought I'd like to share an interesting call that I just had with a client, and it's a question that hasn't come up for a while, but I think it's a great question. And I think it's a question that a lot of certainly first-time investors would ask themselves when looking at investing in the US. And the question was, should I invest in a single family home or should I invest in a multi-family home? So as a company, we sell 3-bed, 4-bed single family homes. We sell duplex properties, we sell triplex properties, 4 units, and even up to maybe 8-unit apartments. So there's a lot of choice when it comes to what type of property that you want to buy in the US. So I think it's a good question, and I think that there's a lot of positives and negatives on both sides. But I think my opinion, and coming from working in the US market for now coming up to 12 years, I think a lot of seasoned investors and a lot of my big investors that have been investing with me for many years now would go down the multifamily route. And the reason they go down the multifamily route is, number one, you have several streams of cash flow. So if it's a duplex, you have 2 tenants. So if one tenant leaves, you always have another stream of income. And also in terms of the returns or your cash on cash return, your cap rate, your ROI, whatever you want to call it, on a multifamily home would normally be higher, because the rents, you've got 2 rents coming in. So on a duplex, you'd normally be looking at, let's say, maybe $750 to $850 per unit, where on a single family home, you might, depending on whether it's a 2-bed or a 3-bed or a 4-bed, it would be anything from maybe $750 all the way up to maybe $1,300 or $1,400. You wouldn't really get much more than that for a single family home in the locations or the neighborhoods that we sell properties in. So I think the benefits of a duplex are obviously that you have a couple of streams of income. If it's a 3-unit, you have 3 tenants, 4-unit, 4 tenants. The majority of multifamily homes that we would sell as a company would be a duplex. So two apartments, either 2 beds or 3 beds, rent for anything between $750 up to $900. But I think the downsides of a duplex or a multifamily home, I think they attract a different type of tenant. So, you might have, young people who work and want to live in that area, single people. So I think potentially the vacancy rate on a multifamily home or on a duplex or on a triplex potentially could be higher. So I think it's like anything, it boils down to that same old saying that the higher the return, the higher the risk, which is the case in my opinion in this as well. So if you buy a multi-family home or a duplex, I think the risks are higher than buying a single family home in terms of vacancy and potentially maintenance as well, because if you think about it, a duplex or a triplex is a bigger house. So the likelihood is, over the years, depending on whether you buy a renovated property or a tenanted property where it might need a bit of maintenance, the likelihood is on a duplex or a triplex, it's a bigger unit, so you will have more maintenance to spend over the years. So I think a lot of seasoned investors, like I said, a lot of my big investors go down the routes of that because they've got used to it. They know how to manage the properties correctly, and they work hand in hand with their management company on placing the tenants, placing the right tenants, a lot of them would go down the route of Section 8 because normally the Section 8 tenants would stay longer. But I think that would be my take on the duplexes. On a single family home, I think as a first time investor, my advice is always to go down the route of a good, 3-bed, or even a 2-bed single family home, 3-bed single family home in a decent area, decent neighborhood, where potentially you might get a tenant that wants to stay in the house for 5, 6, 7 years. Their children might go to school in the same area, and I just think, because I'm not talking about the dangers or it's more the risks involved in buying property, which are maintenance and vacancy. And I think the risks involved in buying a duplex are higher than the risk involved in buying a single family home. So I think definitely from a first time investor's point of view, I think you're better off looking at the single family home. And then once you get that first house up and running, you're in touch with the management company, you see the rents coming in. I think then it's a lot easier to potentially look at a duplex or a triplex but understand the risks that are involved in doing it, and work with the management company on the tenants that are placed, which I think is important. And I think it's not right to rush the management company. Remember, you buy these properties for 5 to 10 years. You don't buy them for 6 months or 12 months. So I think rushing a management company to place a tenant is a mistake, because you want to make sure they place the right tenant. And I've got properties here in the UK, I've got properties in the US, and I never rush the management company, and I say no to tenants. So I might wait 2 months or 3 months before I find the right tenant. So I think that's important as well. But I think, coming back to the question, sorry for diverting off the actual question, which was, as a first-time investor, I had a call with a really nice client this morning, first inquiry, and he was basically saying to me, Mike, what would you recommend? You've got a lot of options on your website, singles, duplexes, 3 units, 4 units, and so on. What would you recommend I look at as a first-time investor? My advice to him was to look at a single family home, purely down to the fact that I think vacancy is going to be low. It attracts a different type of tenant, maybe a family that's going to stay in the property. It's easier to manage and probably less maintenance as well. So I think those are the reasons why I would go down that route. But then potentially, as you grow as an investor in the US market, you could diversify and look at a duplex or a triplex or a 4-unit or even a condo. However, the downside with condos is you get HOA fees, and so the returns are a lot less, But I hope that helps. If anybody's sitting on the fence, looking at investing, not sure whether to go with a single or a duplex, and if you'd like to have a chat with me or any of the guys about it, just let us know. We can set up a Zoom call or a WhatsApp call. We have some really good properties this week, both singles, duplexes. I don't think we have any 3 units this week, but check our website, our Instagram, our Facebook for latest inventory. We've kind of sold out of Cleveland this week, but we're expecting more properties in today or over the next couple of days. Cleveland's hot at the moment, and we've got some great inventory in good locations in Detroit as well. So just keep an eye out on our social platforms, our website, or of course if you're speaking to one of our guys, talk to them, Barry, Scott, Ian, or myself. So have a good day, and I'll see you soon.